was being watched, it would have cost me my life. I'd have had a 5-year life sentence. You know what I mean? So I made the right decision at the right time, and I never looked back. I was obedient to the sign of warning that was given to me.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, a real one.
A real one. You saw it. So we spoke with Julia Beverly on our podcast here at Patchwek, the Audio Music Podcast. I'm sure you know. And she was a big part of getting this book out, published with you. She's been, like I mentioned when we first started talking, I saw her interview you first.
Yeah.
Why her to help you publish this book? I feel like you have kept certain people around you. For those of you that don't know who Julia Beverly is, she was founder and creator, editor-in-chief of Ozone Magazine, and just photographer, a big part of the Southern hip-hop culture. So I'm sure y'all had a working relationship for many years.
Yeah.
But I asked, you know, it just seems like you keep certain people around you for a certain reason. So why was it important for you to have Julia help you with this project?
Well, Julia had put out the Pimp C book. So therefore I understood that she had...
she knew what she was doing?
Yeah, blazed a trail to a certain extent, had information that would be valuable to me, and I understood the work ethic she had, you know, when having the Ozone magazine. So I know I was dealing with someone with a track record and, you know, someone that has been loyal to me in the past, and why not go to war with them kind of people?
I agree. That's you have tested people's loyalty, or have had to test people's loyalty in your circle, and like I said, I actually met someone, my close friend Simon, he works on my team, that said he worked with you in Houston some years ago for 2 years, and I'm happy I just ironically ran into him and we started having a conversation. But he even described that you have certain people around you, and it's a very loyal space. In the book, you had to play a real fun game with these 3 men, one of which said, basically, somebody stole some money, y'all. He knew who stole the money. You always know. But he was like, well, let's just see, you know. So 3 men. I don't know any of these gentlemen. It doesn't matter. But the first man said, nah, bro, I wouldn't, nah, come on. I wouldn't do that. Second guy was like, you helped me so much. Like, why would I ever cross you? Third guy was like, on my mama and my daddy grave, I would never do no like that to you. And you were like, it's gotta be the third guy. Like, come on. You doing the most. Then you made him, before you even say anything, you made him sit and watch the video. Yeah. I don't even want to know what really went down in the situation, but I know you don't play about who's around you, and I think that's very interesting and it speaks to the relationships that you have and that you have had over the years. I want to get into a few people, but just talk loyalty. I know that's a part of just who you are and growing up, and you know what you believe in. A lot of us who come from certain situations believe in. You believe in being loyal, especially with your family. I think even people may say like you value nepotism, like keeping it. Not people, you do. You keep it in the family, like your sons, your family. Like you want to make sure that everybody's straight around you. And the people that are around you are very loyal. Why? And how do you determine who how you seem like you have a great judgment of character. How do you determine that? Is there just a sense of discernment that you just naturally have?
Yeah. I have a chapter in my book that's called Heart, Loyalty, and Commitment. And those are the ingredients that I built my team around. Those are the type of individuals I want around me, period. But yeah, to answer that question, I definitely have the gift of intuition and discernment. So, you know, which helps me, you know, business and personal. You know,
I just feel like I can imagine things get a little sticky, especially when you're growing. Rap A Lot Records grew to be such a big thing for obviously like Southern hip hop, but hip hop in general, and you organizing all of this. So I can imagine it being difficult to trust people. How, as a leader, were you able to delegate to other people, like, hey, besides your family, even your family, hey, you can do this and you'll be handling X amount of money and you'll be handling this business. You're going to go on tour with this person. Like, how do you entrust that in people? Well, trust is something that has to be earned. You know what I mean? It's not something you just give away because a person is a blood relative or all that kind of stuff. I never had a problem with, you know, I don't play that because you my blood. It qualify you for a certain position or not. You're going to be qualified, you know what I mean? And I had to come out the gate and deal with a situation like that with my brother. You know, I replaced my brother for Scarface because, you know, my brother was bullshit. You know what I mean? So I understood, you know, what that gets you. Was it a difficult conversation for you? Not at all. Not at all. Because, you know, everybody knows me. I'm straightforward. And my yes is yes, my no is no. You know, I believe in giving a man an opportunity to correct his wrong. Well, once that failed, then get out of my way. Because, you know, I have a mission to accomplish. And it don't have to be with you. You know what I mean? You know, family is not blood to me, it's loyalty. Yeah, you become my family with loyalty. I agree. Yeah. I agree. How did you realize Scarface was special musically, lyrically? Like, obviously, this was somebody very close to you, and you built that relationship and that trust over time. But you knew there was something special about him as an artist. Yeah, you know, through my ears, and of course, yeah, I heard it. It was bangers. Yeah, his work ethic, you know, meant something as well. Right. And yeah, we made magic together. Let's talk about that. Do you recall a specific time where you were just like, this is it? Like you had that aha moment? Yeah. That moment came to me in New York, you know, because, you know, prior to me like really getting involved hands-on, I had a lot of different people who had convinced me that they knew how to make things happen. So I was just kind of like following their lead, putting money behind them. And when I went to visit, you know, in New York for a couple of weeks, I went in, you know, sit with Lyor Cohn and, you know, over at Def Jam, and they showed me different checks, you know, from Run DMC. I saw all these checks and I saw money, you know, six-figure deals and stuff on these checks that excited me. And it was then that I realized that the people I had running my system was trying to imitate New York. So I'm like, whoa, you know, y'all trying to be like the New Yorkers. Y'all trying to imitate the New York movement. So the aha moment for me was, we not finna do this. You know what I mean? We from the South. We finna be who we are. And everybody that didn't embrace that, which was the whole team, you know, I told them, I got rid of all of them. Yeah, I cleaned the slate because, you know, that was my last piece of money and I was going to do it my way. And I wanted to write lyrics. I didn't know how to make them rhyme, but I understood that a lot of what they was trying to write about was things that I was successful with, you know, in the streets. So I'm like, here's some stories, make them rhyme. They said, oh, you too deep. You can't do this. So I got rid of all of them. And, you know, I shook Houston inside out and came up with Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick.
Oh yeah, this J Prince coming at you live and in living color. I'm shouting out to the Country Rap Tunes Radio.
Country Rap Tunes, gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon. Coming down, country rap tunes. Coming down, country rap tunes.
I'm talking about country rap tunes, nigga, gangster music, bitch.